Welcome back to the Eyebrows Grandma Podcast. I'm Milagro.
And I'm Terrence.
And today we have a special treat for you. Terrence gonna tell you his whole life story. Well, not his whole life story, but what led him to needing a kidney transplant. So Terrence, tell me all about it.
Well, my story is a lot different from yours.
Of course. Everybody's story is different.
and it's different in this way. Milagro actually had the opportunity to know a little bit about kidney disease before she actually got to the point to where she went to dialysis, and before. Right, I get it. It kind of hit me all of a sudden. Now.
Oh, you're one of those people?
Yeah. So I did not know I had kidney disease. I knew something was wrong. I had always, I have been, by the time I was in kidney failure, I've been a diabetic for about, I want to say 11 years, maybe. 11, 12 years, maybe. Might be a little bit longer. I have to sit here and try to count it up, but those dates were everything, because I was a person that was in denial every time I got sick about or something that happened. I was an athlete in high school, somewhat in college, and part of my problem is that although I stayed in good physical condition, I didn't treat my body the way it should be treated. I kind of abused my body a little bit. Now, not with like alcohol or drugs. I didn't drink at all. Matter of fact, I didn't drink alcohol until I became an adult, like an adult. Like I didn't drink in college or any of that stuff. The things that most people brag about, expect you to do or brag about when they're in college, I did none of that stuff. So, and I stayed pretty healthy. That I thought I stayed pretty healthy. I tried to work out. Now, my story starts me trying to play basketball in college. So I went to university. I'm not going to call the name of the university, but I went to a school.
You went to school?
Yeah, I went to school. And I tried out for the team, or tried to walk on the team. And one of the coaches walked up to me because I was a really thin guy at the time, and he pushed me down. He said, "Hey man, you're not getting them high school fouls. You got to get a little bit bigger.
Get your weight up."
Basically is what he said. And so I'm a type person, I took pride in what I did athletically. So I immediately changed my diet the wrong way, but I immediately kept working out.
And you immediately started eating all the foods.
I was eating 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
Good Lord.
Yeah. And I was, and then literally from one summer to the next, or from one fall to the next fall, I went from being 160 pounds to 205 pounds. But I was not fat. I was not. I had I was like, I think they said 10 or 11% body fat.
That's
I could run a mile. I could run a military mile. I could bench press about 315. I could squat about 400 pounds. And during that time, I actually could dunk. I didn't dunk in high school. Well, I did dunk once in high school, but not in the game. But I could dunk.
But you were able to do it.
Yeah, I was able to do it. So I was a pretty athletic dude. Now, let's fast forward. After college, matter of fact, my basketball career was about that long. It was really short. And however, my 500 calories, my 5,000 calories,
didn't catch up with you.
Yeah, it didn't go away. I still ate 5,000 calories.
But you wasn't active.
But I wasn't as active as I was when I was playing basketball, like you just said. And one of the things that happened is I gained weight really fast. I mean, I just blew up. And I could remember people saying, "Hey man, you gained a little weight." That's what they were saying.
So you had obesity.
Yeah, a little bit of obesity was coming in there. And they were like, "Man, you gained a little weight." I'm like, "All right, cool." They to my ego. And then he'll say, "Man, you putting on a little more weight." I'm like, yeah. I ain't thinking about it. Next thing you know, I'm married. I have a small child. And this is when I knew it was a problem. I remember my son liked to go outside when he was younger, and I did too. But I didn't realize how much I was not going outside after I started work. I worked retail, and my wife worked retail at the time, and my son was maybe about 3 or 4 years old, and we was at the playground. He took off, and I couldn't catch it as quick as I thought I should be able to catch him. And I'm sitting over there with him, and I'm breathing and huffing and puffing. I'm like, this is a problem. So immediately,
it's wrong.
So immediately, I did another wrong thing. I went on a crash diet. Oh yeah, I was like, well, we gotta get this weight off as quick as possible. We can't live like this.
Oh no.
But what I didn't know is that the things that I was doing was messing up my metabolism. Now, we're going to fast forward a little bit up to the point to where I am getting kidney failure, getting into kidney failure. So I hadn't played basketball, and I had lost a little bit of weight. I had just gone into the teaching field.
Okay.
And had been teaching for maybe 2 years. And I had recently had a foot surgery. And I remember the surgeon saying, "Hey, has anybody ever checked your kidneys before?" Like,
What?
yeah. No, I'm like, I go to a internal medicine doctor. I can't remember the doctor's name and won't call him anyway. But I went to an internal medicine doctor, and I said, "No, he's never mentioned it." But when he mentioned it to me, I asked him. And so what I was told is, "Yeah, you got a little bit of kidney misfunction, but." I'm like, what do I do?
What's kidney misfunction?
Yeah, what's misfunctioning? What do I do? So it was given to me as if though it wasn't something
To worry.
serious. Just, be careful and
You got some
and
issues a little bit.
yeah, and just go ahead and just keep doing what you're doing, manage your diabetes, because of course, taking insulin and having unchecked sugar can cause kidney failure. And that was one of the treatments that he gave me.
High blood pressure, diabetes.
Yeah, high blood pressure, diabetes are the number one and two causes of kidney failure. So I did my very best, I thought, to maintain healthy blood sugars, keep exercising, doing those things that I was supposed to do. However, my kidney functions must have continued to decline. But here's what most people hear. Kidney failure, and we said in the other episodes that it's a silent killer.
Yeah.
And what they mean by silent killer is that kidney disease tends to mimic other communicable diseases, something that's, really not, we don't look at, like you catch a cold, everybody gets a cold, everybody gets sniffles, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
of
course.
And at the time you get older and you work like we worked, everybody get insomnia, can't nobody sleep. Everybody complain about not being able to sleep at night.
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes. So now the thing that got me was I started feeling like I was drowning at night. Yeah, I started feeling like I was having some fluid overload. Now, mind you, no doctor had ever told me that my kidneys were bad or that, I needed to go see a nephrologist or even recommended me to go see a nephrologist. At all. So I would have these little bouts and then I get over it. My energy would be down. Then it's not down anymore. Now, the day that I found out that I was in kidney failure was after I played like 4 or 5 games of basketball. But we were all in the gym playing basketball, and I had some young kids over there at the time.
They try to test your games.
Yeah, they tried to test me and say, you can't shoot, and you know how they do it, talking trash and all this other kind of stuff. And so I said, all right, come on, let's play. So I took on, and we actually beat them pretty bad. And after the game was over, I had to show them that I still had skills. So after the game, I felt unusually fatigued, and I'm thinking, oh, you just getting old, man. You too old to be doing this. That was the first thing that came to my mind. So I said, I'm gonna sit my butt down over here and watch the rest of these games.
And what happened?
So after that, I developed a cough. And then my son came up to me. He was like, hey, are you catching a cold? And remember, I'm a teacher at this time. So I'm not working in retail. Initially, I was working in retail management, but now I'm a teacher at this time. So I'm thinking, man, you better go to the hospital because you don't want to show up to work with a fever or something that you can that's contagious and the kids get. So, you might have the flu or something like pneumonia, and so you might want to just go and get this checked out. But did I go get it checked out? Absolutely not. I went home, I ate, I went to sleep. And I woke up the next day. And my son reminded me. He said, "Hey, I thought you were gonna go to the doctor." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good. If I feel bad today, then I'll go. But if I don't, we don't keep pushing.
Just gotta keep going.
Yeah, we'll keep it
Like we always do.
That's what we always do." So that night, I went to sleep. I felt horrible.
Of course.
Horrible. I got up that morning. That morning was like Saturday morning, and everybody had gone to do something, and I decided, "No, I'm gonna chill today." So my son actually, at this time, was in college, and he was hanging out with friends. He came back, and I was laying on the floor asleep, which is something that I would normally do because I like to sleep on the floor. That was just one of the things that I just won't think. Yeah. I didn't pass out or anything like that. I was watching TV with my head was back on the sofa, and he came in. He said, "Hey man, I thought you was going to the doctor." I got up and I had an uncontrollable cough. I said, "All right." So he took me over to the emergency room, and the doctor came in and said, they did their normal triage and they check my blood pressure. Nothing was really abnormal at the time. It was, my blood pressure was a little high, but I was taking blood pressure medicine during this time.
Okay.
And so she came in, she looked at my medical history from being, that they had on file. And she said, "Looks like you got pneumonia." She said, "But because of your medical history, I'm going to do some labs. We're going to do some labs."
Okay.
So she did the labs, and it took unusually long, like longer. And that's what I was asking. I'm like, "Look, man, can they just give me the medicine I need so I can go home?" And
That's never a good sign.
it's never a good sign. I'm sitting there thinking, "All right, now what are they finding? What are they looking at? What's going on with me?"
Right.
And so the doctor came back, said, "Mr. Williams, yep, you got pneumonia. It's she told me it's something about my lungs, and we're gonna need to keep you overnight to see if we can get this cleared up." I said, "Okay." So while I'm back, when you're in the emergency room, they put you in this little triage room before they move you to your floor or wherever you're gonna be.
Right.
And then the doctor that was on staff, what do they call them?
The hospitalist?
The hospitalist that was on staff, he came back and he saw me, and he was like, and I have a neat story that I won't get into this on this podcast between me and this doctor. I've never met him before, but like I said, like Malekra told you, we're both believers. I'm gonna tell you an account that I had with this individual, and while I was in the hospital. But anyway, he came in and he said, "Well, Mr. Williams, your kidneys don't look like they're functioning like we need them to function. So we're gonna hold you over, and we want to get you to talk. We want to get you to talk to a nephrologist." I said, "A nephrologist?" Now, by this time, I knew what a nephrologist was. I had never had to see one, but I knew what it was.
Right.
I'm like, "Well, why do you want me to see a nephrologist?" And the thing that came out of his mouth was, "Well, I'm not talking about dialysis, Mr. Williams, but your kidneys don't look as good as we want to look. So we wanted you to speak to a specialist. He specializes in this." Okay.
Okay.
So now the nephrologist, I didn't see him until the next day when I was in my room. And mind you, they're giving me IV, they're treating the pneumonia, and I'm feeling a whole lot better than I did when I first went in there. I'm not coughing and not doing all the other things. So I'm thinking, okay, I hope this guy's, what other medication is this guy gonna give me? That's what I'm thinking. So he comes into the room. He said, "Hi, Mr. Williams." And it's so funny because you know how he sounds, because we end up having
the same
nephrologist. But he said, "Mr. Williams, I hate to be the one to bring you this news, but we're going to start dialysis on you because
today."
Yeah, for real. He was like, your kidneys are operating at 15%. I said, 15%? What did I say? "Nah, man." I said, "You got somebody else's stuff." Labs. I said, "Hey, I know my kidneys are functioning better than that." Now, mind you, I probably shouldn't say other podcast, but I had stopped urinating. I started saying something else, but I had stopped urinating, and I was going a lot. However, going a lot doesn't mean that you're filtrating a lot. And I did not realize that until after I was educated and got some more information. So he said, "No, Mr. Williams," he said, I told him, I said, nah, I'm not doing dialysis. He's looking at me like,
You just gonna tell the doctor?
yeah. I just told the doctor what I was not. I said, I'm not doing dialysis. I said, we're not going that route. He looked at me, and I'm glad he was a great person as well as a great doctor, because he just looked at me. He kind of smiled. He said, well, Mr. Williams, he said, we got some time, so I'll give you some time to think about it. And so while I was in the hospital room, I started calling everybody. And I'm telling, hey man, this man just came here and said my kidney's working at 15%. I don't even know what that means. And everybody was like, what? So it was just, and being a pastor's son, the first thing that they do is they call the prayer warriors. And they get the prayer warriors together and they start praying. And I'm like, I'm all right, because the prayer warriors got this thing down. I'm good. I'm locked in. So he came back and I said, all right, Doc, let's do that test again. He said, okay. So he did the test again. He came back. He said, it's time to do dialysis now, Mr. Williams. He said, we can't wait any longer. He said, and then he began to explain to me the steps that I was going to have to take. It was such an emergency that they put a port in my neck.
Oh, I had one of those too.
Yeah, so I couldn't wait till the fistula was mature or whatever. We got to start doing dialysis on you right away. Matter of fact, my first 4 treatments were in the hospital. And so I went from being a person that I thought was kind of normal.
Yeah.
Dealing with diabetes, of course, and a little bit of high, I said, and a little bit of high blood pressure. And I met a friend of mine, and it was funny because he always made a statement. He said, man, if you got to take one pill, that's one pill too many. I was like, wow. And I never thought about it like that, because everybody I knew was taking some type of pill or some type of blood pressure medication.
Right.
And so for me to get to the age that I was and have to take it, I didn't think it to be abnormal. And it is abnormal. You shouldn't have to rely on. Now, when I say this, I'm not telling you not to take your medicine. You've been prescribed medicine. Please take
your meds.
And don't stop taking it until you get the advice of a doctor.
Because we are not.
Because we are not doctors.
We're just ordinary people.
Ordinary people. And I was super stubborn. And I'll tell you that
he was non-compliant.
Very non-compliant at the beginning, because I didn't want to go through what I thought was a death sentence.
Yeah.
And
it can feel like that because you had end-stage renal failure at that point.
Correct. And but once I was educated on it, I was brought to the point that I'm now. Now, unlike my leg rose, she lasted 6 months. I was almost a year and 6 months before I got my call. But I got the call, the same kind of call she got in June. I forgot about this one.
Oh, that's right. You took your call before me. You can't be like, you got your call before me. You had your kidney before me. But you did call me and was like, hey.
But here's the thing.
You're next.
The first call was the standby call.
Oh, you got the standby.
I got the standby call.
Okay.
However, and the lady said, we're going to call you back. I said, well, when are you going to call me back? Because I stopped everything I was doing, and they don't know. I stopped everything I was doing, and I prepared. I got my bag ready. I'm sitting on the sofa. My wife was like, they call yet? No, they ain't call. I'm sitting there. What did they tell you? And I had to explain to her, well, the kidney is somebody else's in front of me. I'm next in line. But if that person can't take the kidney, then they'll call me, and I'll be the person.
Right.
So I stayed till like 4 o'clock in the morning. I finally realized they're probably doing surgery on the other person now, and I'm just gonna go to sleep. And I went to sleep. I got up the next day, and I called, and they didn't. Of course, it went to the coordinator. The coordinator called me back. Yes, Mr. Williams, the other person did get the kidney, but you're next in line. I'm like, okay, all right. So I'm thinking, I got some time.
No.
Now, mind you. That was the end of July.
Okay.
I mean, the end of June. I'm sorry.
June.
The end of June. It was like June 25th. We had to move out of the house that we were living in because we were renting. And we were moving to another location. We had to be out of the house on June the 3rd, I believe it was. No, June 2nd.
July 2nd?
July. I'm sorry. I keep going back to June. July. No, we ain't in June no more. We July 2nd. Now, those who know me know I like to grill on the 4th. Those who know me know I like to have a lot of people at my house on the 4th.
Yes.
Those who know me know we always shoot fireworks
Fireworks, big
on the 4th. And we do a lot on the 4th. So we were preparing for that as we moved. Like, well, we're gonna get a new house, have a bigger backyard. We like, yeah, we excited about it.
We're gonna do
or
it.
whatever. We're gonna do this thing. And then lo and behold, the day that I was taking the washer and dryer out of my house, getting ready to load it on the U-Haul that I had backed up it to the garage, I get a call. Now I'm soaking wet because this is July, and we're in Georgia, so you know it's hot. And so I'm soaking wet, I'm sweating and moving, and we got the doors open, the air off, because we're trying to clean up and get all the stuff out of the house, and the house looked a mess. I ring, ring, ring.
Ring, ring.
And I look at the number, and I said, man, this looked like the hospital number. I'm like, this can't be the hospital number, but let me answer it. So I answered it.
It's the
And then it's the hospital. And the coordinator was like, hey, Mr. Williams, we got a kidney for you. We need you at the hospital as soon as possible. I'm like,
and within 2 months, the kidney goes to somebody else.
that's true. So now here's the thing, the fortunate thing for me is that the kidney hadn't got to the hospital yet, but it was about to be there. So she told me, she said, go ahead and get everything together. And the surgeon's going to give you a call. He's going to ask you some questions, and then we're going to give you time to get there. And so we scrambling. My wife and her friend and my kids. We were looking at the house, and we were like, "What?" So we ended up having to call the landlord. She called the landlord and was like, "Hey, my husband just got called in for surgery. Can we get a few more days?" And she was really wonderful because she did give us some more time. But however. It wasn't much more. But so what my son did, this is what he came in. He went and got his friends from college, and they all got together, and some ladies and some friends that we had at the church moved us out the house while I was in surgery. to the point where on the 3rd I was in the hospital that night, and then on the 4th that morning was when I had the surgery, and by that time they had moved everything. Now, one of the points that I found out that I forgot about was this was during the height of the pandemic. So I couldn't have any visitors. I don't know. Did you have visitors when you were there?
Mine was during COVID.
Yeah. So we know visitors. What they had to do was take me to the emergency room and just wave goodbye. And that was
I
it.
was in the middle of the night too.
Yeah. So
I said goodbye to my son while he was like in the parking deck.
right.
He couldn't even come in the hospital.
Correct. They wouldn't let anybody in the hospital at the time. So, and then I had to take, I think, I don't know how many COVID tests I took. I took one when I got there. The nurse came back and was like, we don't know if that was conclusive. We're going to take another one because we hadn't got the thing yet. And then right when they rolled me down to surgery, they took another one. It was absolutely no idea. I was just like, all right, well, do whatever you got to do. At this point, I was, needless to say, I can't use the word scared, but I was very, very concerned.
Why? Because of so many COVID tests?
No, because I'd never had any major surgery.
Oh, okay.
I'd never been
under the knife
or put any. So I was just like, this could be it. That's the way I was thinking. And I don't know.
I mean, anything can happen when
you're in surgery. And then it doesn't help when they have you fill out all these papers telling you, well, this all the risk. You could die if this happened, and this could happen, and we could get in there and it not look like what we think it looks like. I'm like, wait a minute, do I want them to do this?
You do.
And you do. You absolutely do. And my doctor reassured me. He said, Mr. Williams, he said, I've done these so many times, I can do them in my sleep. He said, I'm not telling you, you don't have any concern. He said, but the thing about what you hear from older individuals that had to go under the knife is totally different now. Technology and it's come a long way. Doctors are really trained, and that was just, especially surgeons, I would say it was a good experience for me, and so Now, fast forward in 2023, no, December 2024.
Wait. Are you gonna tell them about your uncle?
Yeah. Don't do that yet. Okay. All right. All right. So that was my first bout with kidney transplant, and I'm excited to sit here and just talk to you guys about it, and just to encourage somebody who may be going through any critical illness. First of all, trust God. Second of all, advocate for yourself. And be compliant. Please be compliant. Because I was told by a mentor a long time ago that if you get in consultation over something and you lie, then the consultation is going to be a lie. Mm-hmm. So if you're telling the doctor that you're doing something that you're not doing, then the advice that they're giving is not going to help you. All right?
Yeah, that's true.
So
understand that.
Hey,
it's a good experience too. At where I went to get my transplant. I mean, there's only 2 places where we live.
Right.
You can go.
Right.
And I think that's a good place.
But I did have a good experience with the surgeon and the team that took care of me at my first transplant.
That's good. I'm really so glad that you told them all about your journey and just how much your life has been impacted and how it changed. And did you tell them about when you were on dialysis and how you felt? But that's right. That's another.
That's another episode. Yeah, we're gonna get back. I promise you.
We're gonna get into the nitty gritty of dialysis. It's a whole different episode. Correct. I mean, yes, we've been transplanted and we don't do dialysis anymore, but we have had some ups and downs when it comes to dialysis. So I don't want to skip over that. I just want to bring light into who we both are. Like, I want you to get to know us. Right. Eventually you'll be able to write to us if you like. We love your comments. We love to, especially like if you comment on our pages, like our TikTok page or our Facebook or Instagram, not Facebook, but Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. If you just want to comment on it and leave us encouraging words or any questions that you may have, we welcome that. I personally, Terrence, guess what? I became a kidney health coach.
And I am taking the class now online to become one. And I was going to ask you, should we talk about that right now? But that's really exciting. It's exciting because some of the educational things that we've learned that it's almost like everyone should become a kidney coach because the kidney is so critical for your life. Yeah. Because I was thinking, wow, man, if I had known that, I would have been asking a lot more questions. But anyway.
Knowledge is power.
It is.
The more you know.
It is.
Especially when it comes to your kidneys and your health. The more you know, the better you are adequately able to advocate for yourself. Because I even learned about that there's a gene that can predispose you to having chronic kidney disease that a lot of African Americans may have, but don't know to ask to be tested for it. Cool. There's so many things that I've learned over the past couple of weeks because I've been going to some different kidney conferences and things like that. Just to educate myself even more, because I feel like the more you know, and I feel like we as people don't educate ourselves enough. Sometimes we just bury our heads in the sand because, I was young. I didn't know anything about kidney disease or kidneys. Like I said, I thought I had cancer, which I did not have cancer, nor, I'm not saying that, I'm just saying I didn't have cancer. I don't want anybody who has cancer to take that the wrong way. Cancer is a whole nother beast of a different color. And I'm just saying that I didn't know much about my kidneys. And when they told me that I needed to see a nephrologist, I thought I had to see an oncologist. 2 different things.
Right. I get it. And you get so many, it's just like in education. Sometimes I'm going to pick at education because I'm an educator. They throw so many acronyms at you that you like, what is that? What is that? And so I always pray for my new educators coming in because I'm like, they don't know what they're talking about. They sit in the meeting like, okay.
And like a deer in
headlights. I did the deer in headlights look. And then it was funny because one of my administrators asked me a question. And I'm like, I was always talking, you gonna say you don't know? And I said, Let me get back to you with an answer on that one.
Okay, but that's always the proper answer. That is always the answer. You don't say, I don't know. You say, let me get back with you when I have discovered an adequate answer for you. Never say, I don't know. I'm just kidding. There are no stupid questions because,
Right.
I mean, in all honesty, we're not experts. And that's why we have doctors. Because they go to school for this and they know, and the more we educate ourselves, the better we can educate somebody next to us and our families.
Correct.
And our friends and our community. And that was the biggest reason why I decided to go ahead and become a kidney health coach. And that's why I shared it with you, because I feel like as we're on here, we're going to be educating y'all.
Correct.
Because the more you know, the more you grow. Just like reading Rainbow.
I remember that.
Yes, I used to love that. Oh, we should bring it back. Come on, Marvin.
Yeah.
If you're watching this.
Yeah. Look, I forgot that's what it was.
Yes, it was.
It was him. And yeah, I'm just super excited about being able to share a little bit about myself and the journey that I went on, and hopefully and prayerfully it'll help somebody out. I know that through some of the experiences that I've had, I was able to talk to people really from all walks of life, all ages, that come into dialysis and they see need. And I normally try my best to always have a positive attitude and a smile on my face, even though what we were going through wasn't fun at all. I don't want anybody to make you think or that this is a piece of cake or a walk in the park.
No,
Anybody,
it gets wrong sometimes.
yeah, it get super hard.
Yeah. It's real.
Mental health is real, and and I don't know not one person who's done any of this who didn't just want to quit and didn't need encouragement.
Me?
Yeah, I definitely. I don't want to go back anymore. So, but now the one thing I will say is that I know I had a call in my life. I still had some things to do. So even through the tough times, I pushed my way through some of the events that happened in life. And from the time that I've been on kidney, from the time that I learned I had kidney failure to this day, man, I got some events that'll make your head spin. So maybe we'll talk about those.
Of course we will. We're going to get into it all. The nitty gritty, the good, the bad, the indifferent. And we're going to talk about a lot of the things that people don't necessarily realize about transplantation. We're going to have a whole episode on that, about transplantation, what it takes, the steps you go through, how you can refer yourself. And that's something that I learned too, that you can self-refer. Like you can call up the thing and be like, hey, I would like to get a referral to get an organ.
Correct. And, I want to go back even further back than that. I would say, and I'm not going to get into any technicalities about going to your doctor. Yeah. But if you're uneasy, ask questions. And if you have someone that's not answering your questions, find somebody that will. There are always advocate groups out there for people, no matter your economical status. No matter what your socioeconomical status is, there's always groups or people there to help. Just if you're uneasy, you should not be uneasy, and don't settle for just any old answer. Just make sure you're able to ask the questions. And now I will say this though. I will say that having AI has been a help. Because sometimes you can ask AI and it'll give you the questions to ask.
Oh yeah, ChatGPT will help you.
For sure. For sure.
So Terrence, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And I'm so glad that we have this podcast together, and we can't wait to see you guys next week. Have a great week.
Have a great week.
Peace.